Hello and welcome to the next episode of my channel where I'll be taking up the lesson Indigo. Now, this chapter is based on an incident which occurred in 1917 when Gandhiji attended the annual convention of Indian Congress in 1916. In that convention, around 2,300 delegates and many visitors were present. At that point of time, a poor peasant called Rajkumar Shukla approached Gandhiji. He requested Gandhiji to accompany him to Champaran to solve the issues of the poor sharecroppers of Champaran, who had to come to appeal against the injustice of the landlord system in Bihar. Okay, so the sharecroppers were facing a lot of problems due to the cultivation of indigo in Bihar, and Rajkumar Shukla was one of the sharecroppers who wanted Gandhiji to help him out of the situation. But Gandhiji was not free at that point of time. So Rajkumar Shukla accompanied Gandhiji everywhere and he kept on begging him to go to Champaran. And finally, the determination of Rajkumar Shukla impressed Gandhiji and he was ready to meet him in Calcutta. At the decided time, both of them boarded the train to Patna. They first went to Rajendra Prasad's house, who was a lawyer, and as we know, later on he became the first president of India. The servants allowed them to stay as Rajendra Prasad was not there. However, the servants did not allow them to take water from the well as they thought that Gandhiji and Rajkumar Shukla were untouchables. Next, Gandhiji stopped at Muzaffarpur to gather more information on the sharecroppers of Champaran. When Gandhiji and Rajkumar Shukla arrived at the station, they were received by Professor J.B. Kriplani and his students. Gandhiji stayed at Professor Malkani, a school teacher's house. It was a very brave act by the Professor Malkani, as advocates of home rule were considered unsafe for Indians. When Gandhiji reached Muzaffarpur, all the sharecroppers gathered in to meet him. The lawyer briefed him about the condition. Gandhiji scolded all the lawyers when he came to know that they charged high fee from the poor farmers. Gandhiji decided to change the way things were done. His new plan of action was to stop going to the law courts as the farmers were not getting much help there. The sharecroppers needed to be fearless. Now, at that point of time, Champaran district was divided into two large estates, both owned by the Englishmen. The farmers were forced to grow indigo on 15% of the land. Moreover, they had no claim on the indigo harvest as the entire indigo had to be given as rent. That means 50% of the land were being used by them to grow indigo, and whatever indigo they were growing, that was also not theirs. They had to give that indigo as rent. So, the farmers had no profit at all. Meanwhile, because of German synthetic indigo, the value of natural indigo had gone down. The landlord exempted the tenants from the 15% agreement only after a paid compensation. So what did the landlord say? That yes, you can get back your land, but you will have to pay compensation. The peasants realized that what they were being asked to do was unjust. However, many of them willingly signed. The ones who tried to resist engaged lawyers. But then, as we know, lawyers were again looting them. Okay? Because they were charging high fee from the peasants. Now, on his arrival, Gandhiji visited the secretary of British Landlords Association. But no information was provided to him regarding this indigo cultivation or anything. So he went to the British official commissioner of Tirhut division, where he was bullied. There also he was not given any information and he was asked to leave. But Gandhiji was determined to help the peasants. So he gathered few lawyers and went to Motihari, the capital of Champaran. He carried on further with his investigations. What was he investigating about? He was investigating about this issue of indigo cultivation and the compensation which the Britishers were asking to, release the 15% of land on which the farmers were being forced to grow indigo. Once, while investigating a case of the peasant, Gandhiji got a message to return. He was issued a notice that you have to leave immediately. But Gandhiji wrote back that he would disobey the order issued and would not go from Champaran. So as a result, he was asked to appear in the court the next day. Gandhiji immediately wired Rajendra Prasad, that is the lawyer, to whose house he had gone to meet, to reach Bihar with his influential friends, and he also wired his ashram and sent a detailed report to the viceroy. Next day, thousands of peasants gathered outside the court. The sharecroppers took the first initiative to be fearless to stand against the Britishers. The court requested Gandhi to control the crowd and sought to postpone the hearing, to which Gandhiji objected. So Gandhiji reached the court, but along with him all the peasants came. The court now had to request Gandhiji to control the crowd, but he said, and they wanted to postpone the hearing, but Gandhiji was not ready to do so. Gandhiji protested against the delay. He read out a statement that he disobeyed not to break law but to render humanitarian and national service. Okay? He also claimed to have no disrespect for law but greater respect for justice. Gandhiji was asked to furnish bail in 2 hours, to which he refused. He said, I am not going to give the bail. Okay? So the court had to release him without bail. Court failed because there was a huge crowd outside. They couldn't keep him for long. The court reconvened and withheld the judgment for several days, and Gandhiji was allowed to stay free at Champaran. The law proceedings were going on. Gandhiji was at Champaran during that time. Prominent lawyers discussed with Gandhiji what they would do if he was sentenced for prison. Eventually, on Gandhiji's arrest, the lawyers went to their native place. Gandhiji questioned them that what would happen to the sharecroppers if they would all return. If all the lawyers will return to their native, what will happen of the sharecroppers? Okay, the lawyers were scared that once Gandhiji is arrested, what would happen of them? So they were ready to go to their native. But Gandhiji asked them that if you return, who will get justice for these sharecroppers? After much thinking, the lawyers came to a decision that Gandhiji, being a stranger in Bihar, was ready to get arrested, was ready to go to jail for the residents of that area, which he did not know well, whom he did not know well. So why shouldn't they? So the lawyers were inspired by Gandhiji to fight for these poor peasants. Several days later, Gandhiji learnt that the case against him was to be dropped. Now, civil disobedience won for the first time in modern India, and Gandhiji and the lawyers prepared cases for about 10,000 peasants and collected relevant documents. The next few days saw a lot of activity, where the landlords at Champaran protested violently. Meanwhile, Gandhiji was called by Lieutenant General Sir Edward Gade. Gandhiji met his associate and made a plan on civil disobedience in case he got arrested. Governor appointed commission of inquiry after 4 interviews with Gandhiji, and the inquiry commission consisted of landlords, government officials and Gandhiji, who was obviously the representative of peasants. So Gandhiji met with this lieutenant general and he also made a detailed plan, okay, on civil disobedience, that if in case he gets arrested while this meeting is going on, while this discussion is going on, what would be his next step? How would the civil disobedience be carried forward? So to solve this issue, a panel of people were called. Who were they? Landlords, government officials and obviously Gandhiji. Numerous evidences were collected against the landlords. Since they were left with no choice, the landlords agreed to make the refund. Gandhiji was asked to quote the amount. Gandhiji demanded only 50%, okay, of what the landlords had expected. Landlord's proposal of 25% was approved by Gandhiji. Okay. Gandhiji later justified that why did he agree for only 50% of what the landlords had, thought of what Gandhiji would ask. Say suppose they had thought that he would ask for 100 rupees, but Gandhiji asked only for 50 rupees. So let's see why did he do so. He told the peasants that more than the refund amount, what mattered most was the surrender of prestige by the landlords. It was a kind of victory, social victory for the peasants and defeat for the landlords. The victory infused courage in the peasants. Later, British landlords abandoned the estates. This proved Gandhiji's explanation that because they were, demoralized, because the Britishers were demoralized, they left that area and the land came back to the peasants. So winning the courage, winning the prestige was more important than the compensation. Gandhiji wanted to eradicate social and cultural backwardness in the village of Champaran, and he sought volunteers for this work. Devdas, that is Gandhiji's youngest son, Kasturba, Gandhiji's wife, taught the ashram rules on personal cleanliness, community sanitation and general hygiene since the health conditions were really poor. Castor oil, quinine and sulfur ointment were used for curing ailments. Schools were opened in 6 different villages and several of his disciples and family members volunteered as teachers. Even though living away from it, Gandhiji made regular inquiries about the ashram, sending instructions and asking for financial accounts. So the man who was kind of persuaded to come to Champaran for a day continued to stay there for months and months altogether to solve the issue of the peasants. And thanks to whom? Rajkumar Shukla. Although what he did would have been an ordinary case, but the episode was a decisive movement of his life. The politics was linked with his day-to-day life. He wanted Indians to stand on their feet fearlessly. He wanted to show people that even poor peasants, when stand together, can win battles. Patience, perseverance and constant effort are sure to pay off one day. Okay, so I hope you have understood the lesson. Do like the video. Thank you.